Okay, guys, we are back for part two of this. I'm going to try to make it snappy. So, we talked about the hunter gatherers, we talked about the agricultural revolution, and then something happened where um, we started to utilize fossil fuels to make energy. Things started coming about as electricity. The light bulb was invented. All of these beautiful inventions and these innovations in technology became because we started to figure out how to use fossil fuels to power things. And with the extension of the light, we could now work through longer hours of the day. You don't rely on daylight anymore. And with this came a revolution of industry. This part right here moves into the Industrial Revolution. I'm just going to highlight that IR. Okay. And basically, the most important thing is we utilize fossil fuels for energy. All right. We definitely had a huge number of people move into small cities so that they could work at factories. So before, when you had all of these kids on the farm, all of those kids are now moving into factories because farms are just not as important to make money and have resources as factories. So we see a huge number of people move from like rural areas into big cities. We see city populations grow. This is where we see huge infrastructures just created, large buildings, roads, cars, anything you can think of. And this all happened because humans figured out a way to use fossil fuels. Now, as you guys know from your reading, fossil fuels are an example of a non renewable energy. Non renewable meaning that they cannot be renewed in our lifetime. So we will never be able to see those fossil fuels being renewed within the earth naturally, which is why renewable versus non renewable is such a big issue in environmental science. Okay. So I wanted to give you a general timeline of where we are, how we got here as humans. I wouldn't say that we're still in the Industrial Revolution, but we are definitely post Industrial Revolution, where we're now trying to figure out how not to overuse our fossil fuels because they are depleting quickly. It is an intense problem. We will run out of some fossil fuels in our lifetime, definitely in your lifetime, and have to come up with alternative energy resources. So, this basically gives you a really ugly but really accurate timeline of how people have evolved through the environmental history. And that's all I had.